Welcome to the second challenge in the switch statement section. So what I'm going to ask you to do for this challenge is a couple things. One, I'm going to ask you to first write out this program using if-else statements and then rewrite it to be a switch statement just so you can get some practice converting between the two, because that's something that you might come across when you're working on your own games. So for this program, let's imagine that the scenario is that you're writing a script that's simulating those games where people eat spicier and spicier foods, and you're going to be switching between the Scoville level that's selected and printing out information based on maybe like what kind of pepper they're eating, something like that. So let's go ahead and hop into Unity. And what I'd like you to do, so make sure that you have a game object in your scene. I'm really using this cube a lot. And let's go ahead and right click and create a new C# script. And I'm just going to call this one like Scoville maybe, and hit enter, and then go ahead and open up that Scoville script. Awesome. So once your script is open, here's what I'd like you to do. So of course, we're going to need a variable for our spicy level, our Scoville level. And what I'd like you to do in update is I'd like you to have two keys that your user can press. So two keys, one that sets the Scoville level to, let's say, 2500, and another key that sets the Scoville level to like 1,000,000. Maybe actually a third key that sets your Scoville level to 0, which would be your like invalid selection. And then if it's 2500, I'd like you to print out a message that says something like you're eating a jalapeno. And then the next statement would be if it's 1,000,000, print out a message that says maybe you're eating a ghost pepper. And then your else statement, which would be your invalid selection, which would be when you press that 0 key. Additionally, what I'd like you to do is maybe turn it green. And then for the ghost pepper, maybe turn it red, and then for the invalid selection, turn it gray or some other color. The main thing for this challenge is converting it between an if statement and a switch statement and just getting practice there. And remember what I said too in the last challenge, that for your input, it's usually not done with a switch statement. For input, checking for keys pressed, it's usually just a regular if statement or if else. But for these, checking between points or what level it is or whatever that is, usually those are done with switch statements instead. Okay, so do your best with this. Go ahead and pause the video here. This is your challenge. And if you get stuck, I'll see you in a second and I'll show you a solution. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video and hopefully you figured out this challenge on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to show you a solution for it right now. So for our spicy level variable, I'm pretty sure we're going to want an integer as well. So I'm going to make that a private int, and I'll call it Scoville level. And I guess we could serialize the field to see it in the inspector, although we don't really need that, but it might be helpful to have. I don't think we're going to need start. And now we want 3 keys. It doesn't really matter what the keys are, so let's go ahead and open up our if statements. If input dot get key down, key code dot, let's say J for jalapeno. And in here, all we're going to do is set the Scoville level equal to 2500. Now let's do another input for our million. So that's another if input dot get key down, key code dot, let's do G for ghost pepper. And now let's set our Scoville level equal to 1,000,000. And then the last one would be for our 0. So let's do if input dot get key down, key code dot, let's say alpha 0. And then we will set our Scoville level equal to 0. Great. So that's our 3 keys. And now it's time to write out our if else checks and then convert them into a switch statement. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be writing out if our Scoville level is 2500, right? Oh, and I didn't make it an underscore. So let me right click real quick and rename this, since it is a private variable, and rename it underscore Scoville level. So if our Scoville level equals 2500, then we're going to print out a message that it's a jalapeno. And we're also going to change the color of the game object to green. So I'm going to use get component, get the mesh renderer, initialize it with parentheses, go farther in, get the material, get the color, and set that equal to color dot green. Now we're going to use our else if and check for the Scoville level equaling 1,000,000. And if that's true, we're going to print out a debug.log ghost pepper and also change the color of our game object. Get component, mesh renderer, go farther into that, get the material, the color property, and set that equal to color dot red. And lastly, our else, meaning it's anything other than those two numbers, we're going to debug.log, nope, and then also get the component, mesh renderer, grab the material, dot color, and set that equal to color.gray. Cool, so let's save this script, hop into Unity, and let's make sure this works. Make sure once again that your Scoville script is attached to a game object that has a mesh renderer, so I'm attaching it to my cube. Okay, so we can see that it's already working, it's gray, and it's printing out nope over and over. Let's see, I'm gonna hit J, jalapeno, and it's green, and I'm gonna hit G, ghost pepper, and it's red. Okay, so our program is working. Let's go ahead and convert this into a switch statement. This part right here, what are we switching between? Let's go ahead and open up our switch statement. And what are we switching between? We are checking our Scoville level and the cases that we have. So we have case 2500, break, case 1,000,000, break, and then of course we have our default case, break. Within each of these cases, we want to grab this code here. I'm going to copy this guy, hit paste. Within case 1,000,000, we want to grab this code, copy that, paste it in here. And within our default case, we want to grab this code and paste it within here. Now, let's go ahead and comment this out. So you know about commenting with the 2 slashes, but if you want to block out a big comment, you can go 1/ with an asterisk, and then at the end of that, an asterisk and a slash. So anything between those symbols gets commented out. Additionally, there's one other optimization that we could make, which is this get component call is kind of expensive to be doing a lot. So actually up at the top, let's go ahead and get a reference to the material. So private material, and I'm just going to call it _mat. And we'll bring back start real quick, and we'll cache that get component. We'll cache that material. Mat equals our get component call. Get component, and we're looking for the mesh renderer. We're getting the material. So we've cached that, which means that instead of doing this get component over and over, we can delete this and just say _mat.color. Same with here, _mat.color. And right here, one more time, _mat.color. There we go. Optimized, easy to read. Let's go ahead and save this script, hop into Unity, and our program should work the same. All right, and already the cube is gray and it's printing out nope. And if I hit J for jalapeno, there we go, jalapeno, and it's green, and G for ghost pepper, and it's red. Perfect! This is working exactly how we wanted. So this code right here is exactly the same as this code right here. It's just cleaner, neater, easier to read. Awesome. Okay, in the next video, we're just going to do one last switch statement challenge and maybe get a little bit of practice accessing other components than the mesh renderer. Okay, see you in the next challenge.